Hey everybody, in this video we are talking about the optimal consumption bundle, i.e. the utility maximization rule. That's right, the utility maximization rule gives you the optimal consumption bundle. But I'm going to do this in the context of marginal analysis, okay? Because where these play out is in this context of marginal analysis. So we want to understand marginal analysis to do this. Now, just a real quick aside, guys. I like to tell my students there are 3 legs to the stool of economics. One of those legs is scarcity, another one is opportunity cost, and the third leg is marginal analysis. So we need to understand marginal analysis as economists because it's fundamental to economics. Remember, economics is truly about decision making, making optimal decisions. And the way that we make how much decisions, that's right, how many, how much. We're deciding how much of something to do, or how many of something to produce, or how many people to hire. All those how much, how many decisions, we should employ marginal analysis to do that. That's how we get to our optimals, okay? Now, when you do marginal analysis, it goes like this. If your marginal benefit is greater than your marginal cost, and let's kind of define those, right? My marginal benefit is my additional benefit of doing one more of something. My marginal cost is the additional cost of doing one more of that same exact thing. If the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost, that means do it, okay? So if your additional benefit you get from doing one more of something is greater than the additional cost, then you should do it. And you keep doing it as long as your MB exceeds MC. Keep doing it, keep doing it. As soon as MB equals MC, stop. That is your stopping point. Never do it if your marginal benefit, never do something in which the marginal benefit is less than the marginal cost. If you do that, you will optimize, okay? Now, when you optimize, you're either maximizing or minimizing. A lot of times in economics, you're maximizing. There's a few times when you're minimizing, okay? So again, right here is an optimal, hence the term optimal consumption bundle. And we want to maximize our utility. So when we say optimal, that is either a maximum or a minimum. Again, in economics, not all the time, but a lot of times we're looking for maximums. A few times we are looking for minimums, okay? The other thing I want to make sure that we are clear about here, okay, is when you do marginal analysis, we're saying we're getting the additional benefit over one more of something, the additional cost over one more of the same exact thing. That denominator, that one more thing, has to be the same. And you're going to see that in just a second as we do this. All right. So in your 101 or AP microeconomics courses, you're going to have to find the optimal consumption bundle, and you want to use the utility maximization rule to do that. And you're going to be presented with different information. Eventually what you want to figure out is the marginal utility of a particular good. I'm going to call that good A. Maybe you'll be presented with total utility. So marginal utility is just the difference in utility as you add one more, right? That's what marginal utility is. So again, you might be provided with total utility and have to figure out your marginal utility. But you got to find your marginal utility of A. You need to also figure out your marginal utility of another good. The good news is usually in our 101 or AP classes, what they're going to do with your optimal consumption bundle is they're going to have you spend your entire budget on just 2 goods. They're just going to have you looking at 2 goods just to see if you get the concept, okay? Once you get the concept, you can add in more and more goods, and you can even put a temporal or a time aspect in which you could have future goods via savings. So they can get really complicated, but at the first, that 101 level, they just want you to get the basics of how this works. So again, find the marginal utility of a good, of say good A, marginal utility of good B. So let's take a look at this. This is our additional utility when we consume one more of A, our additional utility when we consume one more of B. Hopefully, based on what I've already said previously, we realize that's not good enough. We're not going to be able to compare those. Why can't we compare these? Because the one more is different. This is one more of good A. This is one more of good B. We need the one more to be the same thing. Now, if you're not with me, you will be in just a couple seconds. Here's what we're going to also need to find that optimal consumption bundle. We're going to need the price of A and the price of B, all right? Now, when you look at this, here's what I want you to see this now is. By dividing by price, now you have the additional utility, but not for one more of A, but by spending one more dollar on the good. That's right, that's what this is. This ratio or fraction, however you want to say it, what that is giving you now is a marginal measurement, okay? And what it's showing you is the additional utility, not for one more of good A, but the additional utility you're going to get by spending one more dollar on good A. By dividing by the price of A, that's what that gave you. This is giving you the additional utility that you're going to get when you spend one more dollar on good B. That's right, by dividing by the price, you're now getting it, so you've got additional utility per dollar. Now we can compare these two things, right? Now we got additional utility per one more dollar, additional utility per one more dollar. Additional utility we get by spending one more dollar on A, additional utility we get by spending one more dollar on B. So again, you got to divide by that price, and now you've got the additional utility per dollar spent, not per good. Now we can make this comparison. The next thing I want you to know is, yes, you might kind of see both of these as kind of marginal benefits, if you were, right? We're getting additional utility, we're getting additional utility. But what I want you to understand is if you're looking at this one, this being a marginal benefit, that's a marginal cost, right? What do you mean that's a marginal cost? Well, when you spend another dollar on good A, you are foregoing spending a dollar on good B. You're foregoing the benefits or the utility you would receive by spending another dollar on B, right? I mean, so let me just even write that to make that clear, okay? If you see this as the marginal benefit, you are then seeing this as the marginal cost. By spending another dollar on A, you are foregoing, think of that term opportunity cost, right? You are foregoing spending another dollar on B. This is showing you the benefits of spending an additional dollar on B. That would be the cost of spending another dollar on A. So if this is greater than this, if it's like that, hey, spend more dollars on A, keep spending dollars on A, keep doing that until they equal, okay? Until they equal. Now, if the case, of course, was the opposite, right? Oops, kind of messy right there. If it was like that, this means you need to spend more dollars on B and less dollars on A, okay? And you'll keep doing that again until you get to equality. And just to make sure we've got it, I'm going to reverse this, okay? I'm going to move my B to right here. So I'm looking at this one now. Hey, that's my marginal benefit, right? The benefit I'm going to get, which is utility, that I'm going to get from spending another dollar on B, all right? Which makes this the marginal cost of that, right? So that's why we do the way we are. That's why we set this up the way that we're setting this up. It really is marginal analysis. Whichever one you're seeing as MB, the other one becomes the MC of that one, right? So again, hey, this shows me the utility I'm going to get by spending an extra dollar on B. What am I doing? I'm foregoing spending an extra dollar on A, or I'm foregoing the utility I would get. The utility I'd get by spending an extra dollar on A. So again, marginal analysis. We're going to do this until we get an equality. And when we get that equality, that is when we have optimized. And in this particular case, that optimization is a maximization, right? When we optimize, we're either maximizing or minimizing. And in this case, it's a maximum that we have found. What is the maximum? The maximum we found is utility. We are now maximizing our utility. Hope that makes sense to you. We'll see you in the next video.